Hey y'all, this is Erin. Today we're going to talk about the quote unquote beyond the textbook. Um, we all remember having paper textbooks and learning how to look in the table of contents or in the index for what you were looking for, and trying to figure out what exactly you were supposed to be doing in that math problem as you tried to follow the steps. And now we're almost beyond that. Paper textbooks are heavy. They are potentially outdated, but they are peer reviewed and fact checked. Right? If you have the fourth edition of a book, then it's not going to have nearly as many typos as something that just got published on the internet. But at the same time, they may be harder for students to relate to because we're on our phones all the time. Um, on the other hand, your online sources are nearly infinite. They update to the minute. Everything is searchable. So if you don't know about Control F, you should get on that. Um, they're usually easier for students to relate to because they contain things like links and videos, or interactive elements, but they're not always necessarily better. All right, students, because of the way that the internet works these days, need to learn how to search effectively. There's just an infinite amount of information on the web for them to look through. They need to know how to pull out keywords out of their questions, how to rephrase, and then how to filter through the results. We need to teach them how to evaluate the accuracy or bias of websites. So to figure out if something is accurate or not, you generally want to compare at least three resources, and you want to make sure that they come from a trusted source. So usually that's going to be a .edu, a .gov, sometimes a .org site. And then looking at bias is something that we don't do nearly enough because every single thing that is written, including the classics, are all biased in some way. Um, we work to teach students to extract the pertinent information in reading comprehension classes, in English language arts, but to do so from the internet in something that may not be written exactly correctly becomes even more challenging. I challenge you to work collaboratively with each other and with your students to think through exactly how to evaluate accuracy, to find really good resources, and then use those to create new content. And then it's your job and the job of your students to learn how to present your content, your new thoughts cleanly and professionally through the internet. All right, let's talk about social media. Everybody has social media. It's unavoidable. It has different rules than, say, talking on the phone or even really texting. You need to talk about it because your students are on it and it can be used constructively, despite most people's inclinations. You need to talk to students about how people present their best faces on social media and how they're not going to usually put up something that shows them in a bad light. Using social media as part of your classroom is a wonderful place to show off your achievements, your projects, your papers. That really cool question that this kid asked yesterday, all of those things are a great thing to put on your social media.